All these YouTubers are always talking about the same exact thing. Man, I found a great tool today. And then they just pull out like a knife. Like, knife check. Let's do a knife check. Today is the Kaiser. Oh yeah. Speaking of knife is a great tool, but you need other tools to do other things. So what else do I have on me as far as tools go? We got ourselves a ruck with a lanyard. Great utility blade, right? Beautiful thing, love it. And we have ourselves a pry tool, Leatherman Surge, and an O-light, right? These are all great tools. Pretty expensive. All this together right here, you're looking at 100, 140, 30 bucks there, and I think these are 30 or 40 bucks. And then the knife is another 70. God, you're almost at $500 right here, right? Or so? I don't know. It's pretty expensive, all this stuff right here. Plus, the sheath is what? 100 bucks? Yeah. So, today, I went to a used tool place to see if I could find some used tools. And I found some really good stuff. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because you can find some really good stuff at the used tool stuff or like the pawn shops. And you can get yourself some quality tools instead of going to like Home Depot and buying like a Cobalt drill or some other crappy made in China or Taiwan junk that just isn't a quality tool. So I'd rather buy a good used tool than a brand new anything from Home Depot, or unless it's like a Makita or something. So what I got today was this, and this here is a snap-on air drill. All right, it didn't come with a key, but I had one that fit it because I had a snap-on drill back before and I knew it was going to fit in there. Bang. So, and this thing I just cleaned it up a little bit with some what did I spray on here? Did I use CRC? Yeah, CRC, or I forget what I used, but I just cleaned it up and wiped it a little bit and then oiled it. And this thing, I swear this thing works like it's brand new. I mean, that's a drill. And I work on big heavy trucks, so I need to drill through some thick steel a lot of times. Now, I think there might be a little issue with this gets loose, you know, but I'm going to give it to the snap-on guy and see if he can put some new parts on it and maybe even refurb this thing for maybe, you know, even if I spend another 60, 70 bucks on it, or even if I spend another 100 on it, it's still cheaper than buying. This drill's like $300-400 brand new off the snap-on guy. And this is a really, really good drill. Somebody carved their name in there. It says red. I mean, I bought it legit, so I don't know what the person who traded it in did with it, but this is a really nice find right here. All right, so the other thing that I found are these 3 big giant steel bar pins. These are called drive pins. Okay, now if anybody who works in heavy equipment or body shops or anything, I mean, these are just good to have in your car just if you need to. This one's really good for prying at things. This one's good because it has that special little kind of end there. You can really get in something and pry something. So this is something I would keep maybe in your car if you're not into that kind of thing. But you can find these things in the pawn shops or used tool stores, maybe in like the back crate. And you can tell these things are old. But the best thing about these, and this is made by Mayhew, and this is USA made. This is American steel. You cannot get this stuff made in China. All right, you can't. You know, Japanese steel is okay, but made in China steel is not. This, I mean, look at that drive pin's bent. What I use these for typically is like a big truck and I have to bend a bumper or put an exhaust, the big stacks for exhaust. They're heavy. I mean, they're like 150 pounds. You're picking up the steel bracket, okay, and it doesn't line up with the holes. Use these drive pins to hold it in place, and then you can pry it up and then throw your big heavy bolt in and run your impact gun in there. But these are just great, and a lot of times if you have a bumper that's bent, and I'll show you in a second, you can stick these up through the bumper holes on these big steel trucks, and you can bend it and pry it, and these drive pins are just great, and these are good American made in the USA steel. And look at that point. This is a real good one here, and it's also made in the USA. All three of these are Mayhew, but these are good. And then I got myself a brand new set because he had a new set of DeWalt drill bit set, which is a really nice drill bits. These are really nice. You can see how they're cut, so they're not circular. They don't slip out of the teeth in the drill. And these things will last. I'll go through steel, and they're great. These are not wood drill bits. They will go through wood, but they're mainly for steel. So DeWalt, all together, what I paid for all this stuff right here is $70, guys. I mean, that is some good finding on some good old used tools that are just, you know, I'm going to use for another 20 years, maybe. You know, who knows, once I get this drill refurb, it might last another 40, 50 years. You know, who knows? This thing's probably already 20 years old. So, you know, if you're just starting out, trying to get some tools and trying to get some things, I mean, it can be overwhelming, you know, but shop around, look in these used tool places. Don't just go on Amazon and buy the cheap stuff, because that stuff is not going to last. I mean, I have hammers in my drawer here. They got a good snap-on body hammer here. This thing's got to be 20 years old easy. It's never broke. And you know, you can polish. I'll teach you guys how to polish these if you want, to where you do it like it look like that. So you have a block that essentially looks as a broken hammer, which is not a good snap-on one, but you know, essentially you'll have one that's beat up like this, and then you'll have it look something like that. So if you spend your money wisely on your tools, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting old used tools, as long as they're good quality stuff. You got to know the quality stuff. Snap-on, Mac, Mac-O, Cornwell's okay. No, I don't really swing too much Cornwell route. It's either usually Snap-on or Mac or Mac-O. They're the three big ones. Honestly, I wouldn't spend my money anywhere else. Like Harbor Freight, they have those cheap socket sets and stuff. I mean, that's okay if you're somebody who's just doing home projects and little kinds of things. But I mean, honestly, guys, check out some used tools, because if you like this kind of video, I'm gonna do more of this stuff, and maybe I'll take you guys along with me and see what we can find, because this place that I found down the street is loaded with stuff, and it's called Mr. Good Deals in Philadelphia, and it's just a great place, and he has all kinds of stuff. And you know, of course, I like my goodies, you know, but you know, when it comes to heavy duty working, you need heavy duty stuff. And you know, there was a cobalt drill there that wasn't a chuck key lock one. It was just one you tighten by hand. And that just isn't going to work for ripping through heavy grade 1/4 inch thick steel at times, you know, or inch thick steel. So sometimes I gotta go right through a frame. Sometimes I gotta drill big thick steel doors and stuff. So I need a big heavy duty drill bit that's gonna have a lot of speed. And a lot of times it's got to do with the drill bits too, but you know, get yourself some quality tools, and if you're just starting out, it doesn't hurt to get the used ones. Think about it. I figured I'd show you guys what I got going on here. So sometimes you don't have access to a frame machine, so what I did was I got this truck here and I tied the chain around it, okay, and I got the chain, and then this here is called a come along, all right, and you just pull. This is just basically like a big cable winch. You crank it by hand, and then I have that because the bumper won't line up. All right, so the bumper, it lines up on the top bracket, but on the bottom one, it's off by about 2 inches. So I'm trying to pull it out, and then this is a really cool tool here. This is called a hydraulic. This is a hydraulic jack, and it's I believe this is a 4-ton, and you know, you crank this bad boy up, and it's what it's doing is bending that bracket, putting pressure up on it, while I have this one pulling it outward. But as I'm pushing this up, because of the way this bracket's designed, it's going to kind of kink it to where I need it to be, to where this front bumper can go on there. And you know, worst comes to worst, when I get the bumper on there, I'll be able to put the jack the other way and pump it out towards this way. But yeah, that's these are some good things also, and this is also something I found in a used tool section. This is brand new, but if you're doing body shop stuff, you definitely have to get a hydraulic pump. So, and then like what I was saying about the drive pins, those will go up in those holes. So if you need to line things up, you put the drive pins in, you kind of twist and turn and until you get your bolt in place. So that's what you're going to use drive pins for. And sometimes these big exhaust stacks are on the side of the frames, and you can use them for that as well. So anyways, that is it for this video, guys. I just want to give you a quick little go around and what's going on in some tools. And you know, everybody in the EDC community just likes to show off knives and stuff all the time. You know, I want to show you guys some real tools, some real stuff you can use all the time, especially around your house and stuff like that too. Like if you have apartments, or you know, you see these guys that do like modern homesteading. But you know, a lot of us live in the city and stuff, and we're not cutting down trees and stuff. So you know, we're just working on our cars or doing just, you know, easy stuff at the house. So I'll get into more of that stuff. If you guys like this kind of video, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, and leave a comment if you want, or yeah, leave a comment. See you.